The Saiyan Day banners are upon us, but when will they drop in your local time zone? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the upcoming Saiyan Day Super Saiyan Vegeta, taking a look at what he does and figuring out when him and his banner are dropping in our local time zone. As always, shout out to the Thieving 6 for updating the database here so we can actually see relative to our time zones when we log into the website when it should be dropping. So you can see here that in approximately 36 hours from the release of this video, we will see the release of the Super Saiyan Vegeta. So in this video, we'll take a look and talk about when that is going to happen in our time zone. So let's jump on in. Let's take a look at the unit. So in his base form, he is Vegeta's family, Super Saiyans, category key 3, HP attack defense 170, while giving 30% to Pure Saiyans, Battle of Wits, and Mastered Evolution. I've mentioned this a multitude of times, but I really do like the leader skill. It covers all Vegetas. It covers basically all future Trunkses and quite a few other very useful characters. The combination of this leader skill makes Vegeta's family a viable 200% team when you start to look at some of the units available on it. Now in his passive, he's got key 2, attack defense 150%. He guards all attacks, he reduces damage received by 18%, and launches a super attack for 3 turns from his instant's turn. So the really nice thing about this is we have not had this combo of guardian attacks and damage reduction and stacking since TEQ Ultimate Gohan, and even then TEQ Ultimate Gohan didn't have the damage reduction. It's a pretty powerful combo, and him launching additional super attacks with that means that 3 super attacks a turn, for maybe if you get the other additional proc, he's looking at, you know, increasing his attack and defense, right? 20%, 40%, 60%, 80% every single turn. So really powerful there. Now he also has this effect where he basically, the more HP he has from the beginning of the turn when he receives an attack, the greater his attack and defense boost. So they really want to encourage you to put him in slot 1 to take advantage of that. He also has an additional 31% and with each attack received up to 80%. And again, he's got that additional chance when there is a Goku on the turn, which is pretty easy to activate, right? He's got characters like the LR Super Saiyan Trio on his team, which can help him activate that. Now, he can transform into his base form from the 3rd turn as long as you are above 18%. And now he no longer stacks infinitely, but he can still build for the turn, which you'll see is really helpful as you see what he's doing. He still has guard on all attacks. He's got attack and defense 180 and key 3. His damage reduction becomes permanent, no longer just for the 3 turns, and he has 180% attack as long as you are above 30% HP. Now what's really interesting is this part right here. He's got 30% attack when below 80% the enemy, another 30% when below 60%, another 50% when below 80, and this is right additive, right? So each one goes on to the next, on to the next, on to the next as the enemy's HP falls. Now consider this: he has guaranteed additionals, and he has an active skill that can be activated when the enemy is 80% or less, or he's received 3 attacks. Either way, by the end of the active skill, good chance you're getting that enemy below 80%, so you will proc that 30%. He will then proceed to have guaranteed crits for the turn, and then launch multiple supers, each greatly raising his attack and defense. He gets exponentially stronger as you deal more damage to the enemy. It's really powerful effect. It's really fun to watch him just kind of get increasingly powerful and more fun. So definitely very powerful unit. So what you may be wondering now, well, when can I get my hands on him? Well, as I said, 36 hours from the release of this video, on March 17th, 8:18 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, we will be seeing these banners. So when is that for you? Well, as always, we have our handy dandy time zone converter and the Dokkan wiki, which I will link in the description down down below so you can check them out for yourself. If you are on PST, that is, you are in California up to New York, and I guess a bit of Canada, you are looking at 11:18 p.m. Now, I know there might be a bit of confusion for this with the change of daylight savings time, so if this is off, you know, just subtract an hour, but I did plug it for Pacific Daylight Time, so I'm sure this is the right one, but just know that over in Hawaii, we don't do daylight savings time, so I may be a bit off here, but let's proceed forward. On Mountain Time, you are looking at 12:18 a.m., getting a little bit up there. You know, you may want to wait until the morning to do your summons, but he'll be there. Central Time and Eastern Time, that is, you know, Midwest-ish, all the way up to Eastern Time. My guys on the East Coast, Florida up to New York, you're looking at 1:18 and 2:18 a.m. I do apologize, that is such a late time to be starting. Not as bad as the 3 a.m. usual time, but still pretty rough. If you are my friends over there in Australia, like our good friend Greg Dog, you are looking at 5:18 p.m. on March 18th. Right, so for me, it's dropping on the 17th. For my guys on the Pacific Standard Time, you guys are looking at March 17th, but everybody else, you are looking on actually Sunday, March 18th. Eastern European Time, I know there's quite a few of you in several different countries that fall under this. You're looking at 8:18 in the morning on March 18th. So enough time to wake up, get your breakfast, do what you got to do, have your coffee before you head into work, head into school, whatever you're doing, and do maybe a summon or two. For my pals out in London, first thing in the morning, 6 a.m., you are looking at the drop time for the banners. In Berlin, Germany, CET, this is also France, you are looking at a 7:18 release time. Now, in the last video, there were one or two of you that mentioned you were from Vietnam, so hey, I wanted to throw this in here. 1:18 p.m. on March 18th is when you should be seeing the banner for yourself. In Buenos Aires, Argentina, you are looking at 3:18 a.m. I'm so sorry, right? This is our time for dropping for you, and I know it's rough, my pals out in Argentina. Now, if you ever wanted to do this yourself, you can easily plug in your own time zone by simply plugging in here. Enter your known time. So for us, right, we've entered our known time, and then search up the time zone you want to compare it to. So let's say, for example, we wanted to compare it to Alaska. We got a few of you guys from Alaska reading into this, so you are looking at 10:18 p.m. In your time zone. Very, very useful tool to use, very helpful tool to use once you know the known release time for the unit. So guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, when is Vegeta dropping for you? What time zone are you in? And do you plan on doing a couple multis? Let me know in the comments down below. I will not be up right away at 8:18 to do my summons, as I will be working. However, in about an hour to 2 hours after the banner is released, you can expect to see my video up. So guys, that's it for our video. If you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button, and if nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.